Hello and welcome back to the channel, J.I. Colorist. My name is Jody and I'm thrilled to have you here today with me for what is going to be day 16 of our Matchstick Mouse countdown. Let's just jump right to the page. It is going to be our little friend Sam knitting by the fire. Because we've got some fire going on here, I also have some bleed from a picture on the other side. So I've got some yellowing here, so I may actually already have some natural highlighting done via the markers from over here. I do have another piece of paper glued to the back of this, but it still has leached through even through that. So you'll notice on here that I have already done some drawing, and I'll explain what my drawing is. Because we've got a knitting here, and I just thought it would be kind of fun to do a pair of knitting needles and a ball of yarn. I drew those off camera because I am not someone who is great at drawing, and this isn't kind of a drawing tutorial. So what I thought I would do is do a little bit of inking with you on screen, and then we will get going on with our mouse friend and the main picture. So if that's something that sounds good to you, we're gonna do, so it's gonna be a minimal background today, but let's get cracking on day 16. We've got a lot to color on this page, so I have pre-selected some of the markers already, so it shouldn't take a bunch of time to get it done. But let's start with the inking. Going to say right now that I personally don't knit, and I don't have any knitting needles, so I apologize if this is not accurate to all my professional knitting friends. I think though that you will be able to at least get the idea that that's what these are knitting needles. I'm using a micron 0.3, and I'm going to erase the lines afterwards, the pencil lines. And I've drawn some yarn here, and I've got it kind of going under the page. So I know that this is not how you knit, but I envision that they're just starting this knitting here. And then on the bottom, we've got bottom of the knitting needle. And I haven't put a number on the bottom because I'm not sure what gauge this would be, but I will also color these, and I think I'm going to bring in some, not going to do them silver, I think I'll do them gray, and then we'll be able to do some shading to make hopefully the knitting needles look round. After the micron has dried, I will be going in and erasing the pencil lines, but I will wait until the micron has fully dried. I have made the mistake of erasing right away, and that tends to make a really big mess and smear things. I'm going to grab a 0.5 micron and do the yarn. I hope everybody's having a great week. We are traveling quickly through the month of December. Christmas will be here before we know it. And then we'll be on to a new year. I've got a few things planned for the channel for next year I'm excited about. And I may do a video later in the month after all of this countdown stuff is done to explain my plans for next year. Okay, let me adjust the camera. I will start this with you, and then I will go on and do the rest of it by myself because there is a lot of lines here. It was quite hard to think of how to do the yarn. We all know that yarn balls are tangled and they weave, so hopefully we get some of that across with this. So I'll keep doing this, and I'll be back when this part is done. Okay, here is how the drawing ended up. So I'm happy with that. Now let's get going on our friend here. Today I'm going to start on this side of the page and work this way. So we're going to start with our tree. I'm going to use the Faber-Castell Glamorous Gold to do the same garland that we had done a few days ago. I only see it there, I think, unless this is a part, the garland down here. Let's make that garland as well. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what's what, so we'll just make an executive decision. Okay, the rest is going to be Copic G05, which is emerald green. And he is inside, so we will not be having snow, but we do have some baubles, so we will make sure. And I'm going to make this a bauble as well. Zoom you in a little bit. It could be a spot on the wall, but we're gonna give him some extra baubles. We will use our glaze pens. Comment below, do you like candy canes? But if you like candy canes, do you eat them or do you just decorate with them? I'm going to make this a bauble over here and also one down here so that they stand out. That's the tree. We will come back later with some sparkles, but that's the tree for now. I may come back and do some shading, but we're just going to leave the ink dry. Let's go ahead and give him a blue hat this time. Let's do the wall in the background, and I will just want to get that in here before I accidentally color something that isn't the wall. So we're using Cool Gray 5, and this is the Copic marker this time because my Studio 71 is dry, so yay for using up a marker. Okay, I'll finish off this and I'll be right back. Okay, here's how the background looked. I'm going to take a blue B9, blue sapphire, and I'm going to do the window. I'm assuming this is a window, and I want to make it a very dark blue sky. And I'm going to put some stars in the sky later, but I will get this down so it can dry. The window will be brown, so let me get the brown done. For these spots on the wall, we're going to do a darker gray with the C7. And it looks like we have a picture on the wall here, so we will do that a little bit later. Let's get our mouse done because we know his colors. We're going to start with the T Rose E93 today. Welcome back to our worm friend. Looks like he is enjoying the fire. So since this little guy is knitting, I wonder how many of my fellow colorists on the channel here enjoy knitting as one of their hobbies. Comment below if you're an avid knitter, and if you knit, how long you've been knitting. What kinds of things do you like to knit? Not really sure what he's knitting here. It kind of looks like he's already done the stocking, so maybe he's working on another stocking. Okay, our first table topic question. Which do you enjoy most, music, television, or movies? Okay, well, that's a little bit funny because I probably the most often what I do is listen to book tapes or watch some YouTube videos, because I don't have great reception, so I don't actually have television. I would have to get satellite television here, and I just really don't want to pay for it, quite frankly. So I have like access to things like, you know, you could get Netflix or Disney Plus on my iPad, that kind of thing, but not actually on my television. I would have to invest in a more up-to-date television. So I actually don't listen to much music unless I'm in the car. When I'm driving, I listen to the news and some music. So, and I haven't been to a movie in an extremely long time. I don't even think I've been to a movie since like 2019 due to the pandemic. So I guess I would have to pick television out of all of those, but I would consider watching my iPad as television. So I think that's probably the closest to TV as I get. That is an interesting question, though. If you have a favorite or something that you do more than the others, comment below. Do you enjoy music, television, or movies? The thing that I do use my television for here is I do have a collection of DVDs and that type of thing, so VHS tapes and DVDs, and I do watch movies that way. So it's not as if I don't use my TV periodically, I just don't use it for watching TV. Okay, our mouse friend is done. Let's draw on Wilbur's smile. Okay, and I think he needs a nose. Zoom you in so you can see the additions to Wilbur. Now, let's do the cushion underneath him in a sparkle pen by Spectrum Noir, and it's called Peachtree. Orange is a complementary color to blue. Next table topic question. What's on your bucket list? Well, keeping it art related, what's on my bucket list is I would like to, well, I'm going to learn how to paint some landscapes in gouache. I would like to get better at drawing, and I would like to get better at marker work, because if anything, this video series has shown me is that I am a pencil person and I have not mastered the art of markers. So just growing my skills on hobbies that I love. I would like to get more crocheting projects done. I think that that would be cool. Okay, we're going to do 2 colors for the yarn, and I've got B17 Nautical Blue and B4 Denim. So I'm going to start with the lighter blue, and there isn't a big difference between the two because I'm doing that on purpose. And then I'm going to come in with the darker blue and just put some shadow in. And the yarn is coming out and down and around. So the yarn ball is also obviously going to be blue. So far I have completed one Woobles, and I've shown it on my channel, but I did Pierre the Penguin, and I've got 3 more other Woobles sets, and then I'm going to try and venture out and follow a pattern for some little crocheted animals. We'll see how that goes. Okay, let's do one of these stockings blue, as if he has knitted it. And then this one will be red. And I'm going to use a Prisma Scholar. Light green for the top of this one. We're going to do the rug now, and I have selected Light Peach YR5, but when I show you the color, you'll notice that it's super light, so it's almost more like a tan or a light skin tone. So okay, I'm going to zoom you in just a little bit. Okay, this area here is our standard cool gray 7, but because we are getting close to the fire, I'm actually taking a cool gray 3, which is my lightest gray, and I'm doing the light color right by the fire, because there is going to be a bunch of light cast this way. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit more alcohol marker, and then we are going to switch to colored pencils, because I have much more control over colored pencils than I do markers, and that's just because of my skill level, not because markers could not do what I need them to do. Okay, that's where we're going to leave it for the markers. I'm going to go and grab my colored pencils, and we will get cracking on that. Okay, I did go ahead, before putting away the markers, I decided to do the yarn the same color as I've got it on the page, just so that there's some continuity there. So thank you to Studio 71 for those markers. I am going to bring out my Polychromos pencils, and that's because I'm most familiar with them, not because they work great on this paper. I'm going to do the fire first, and I'm going to select some reds, oranges, and yellows. So we've got cadmium yellow 107, orange glaze 113, and dark cadmium orange 115, deep red 223. I'll zoom you down a little bit. So I like to have some red at the top of the flames. We get closer to yellow near the bottom. And then I do bring the yellow all the way up into the other colors, kind of to mix them. And then I'll go back over everything again and mix downwards. Okay, and the next table topic question is, should everyone be required to work in the service industry at some point in their lives? Well, the service industry is a huge industry. It covers many, many different type of jobs. So I think probably everybody actually at some point in their lives has worked in the service industry. And I don't think that it hurts. Certainly, I think if we all understood that everybody's job, regardless of where it is important for society to keep running, then we might be a little bit more patient with each other. And so yeah, I think that it wouldn't be a bad idea if we all had to do it. Maybe they could put that as some kind of work experience in school even. That would be interesting. Okay, so there's the fire. Sparks going up. Everything should have a bit of a yellow cast. So I'm just kind of doing this here just to remind myself of that, so that when I'm coloring I leave some room. And in fact, we're gonna do a little bit of yellow right on top of our friend Wilbur here, because he's getting toasted. Now we'll need a little bit of brown, but we're gonna do terracotta 186 because that's more of a orange brown. It looks like it's all brick to me, so we are going to stick with some brick colors. So I'm going to go, and because it's near the fire and it's warm, I'm going to use warm grays. So, and we have warm gray all the way from 1 to 6 here. I'll just keep them in order in my hand. There we go. And we're just going to start with the lightest color here, and we're going to progressively get darker. We want to end up this color on this side, so we'll just kind of do one whole brick together, and then I can go off and do that. So that's warm gray 6. This is warm gray 5. So I'm just going to go back over the 6 and bring it back down. And then we've got 4. And we're going to have some yellow on the bottom of this, because there's getting some light here. Okay, we've got 3. And 2. Okay. And I'm always taking the color and blending all the way back, just so that there are no harsh blending lines. Start over, and we'll actually take my Gamsol. Comment below if you have in your life worked in the service industry, and if so, what kind of job did you have? I worked, like I said, I've worked in restaurants, and I've worked at bingo halls, and even as an accountant, you know, I had clients, and that's still working. You know, you're providing them a service. So yeah, comment below if you've worked in that industry. I'm sure most of us have done some type of service work. Okay, so that's how that's gonna look. I will go ahead and do these other bricks, and then I'll come back when I'm ready to do the top. Okay, see you shortly. Okay, we're back. We have done these bricks here. I'm just adding a little bit of orange to the area to kind of soften the colors between the yellow and the gray. Okay, so that's how it's looking right now. We're going to do this block here, and we're now looking at the light is shining upwards, so we're going to have our darkest color up at the top underneath here for the shadow area, because there will be the least amount of firelight hitting that area, and then we'll come down. And because it's curved, I want to have the transition fairly quickly, so we're not going to use all the different colors. some yellow here, and then we're going to jump right into the warm gray. If that transition's a little harsh, we can bring in the number 3 and go down. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of orange again, like I did earlier, and some more yellow. And then I'm going to blend it out a little bit. And because we're going upwards, I'm starting at the bottom and blending up. And that is the fireplace brick area. I've going to go and add a little bit of yellow to like the bottom of his foot and a little bit on the ground here, just kind of along the edge of the rug. So I have a Jelly Roll white and a Signo silver, and I'm just going to add some stars to the sky, and I'm going to put a little bit of a moon here so that people realize that it is a window. There we go. Just a little extra something in the window. I'm going to use Cool Gray 3 to do the knitting needles, and then I'm going to bring in some polychromos and do some shading on those. I can shade them to make them look a little bit more round and a little less flat. Okay, here is the page zoomed out a little bit, and this is how it's looking. I will do the stickles and stuff obviously on the hat in a moment, but I'm going to bring you back down, and we're going to use Warm Gray 4, and we're going to do some shading to make this look round. So I'll bring you down for that. Okay. Just along the very edge, and then I'm going to use a lighter warm gray on the bottom part. We're going to do the warm on the same side, because if there was a light source, you would be hitting the same. I'm not coming all the way down into the center. I'm just trying to add a bit of darkness along the one edge and then a little bit lighter on the other. So you want to make sure that the center area is lighter. If you think you've gone too much the other way, you can always, this is Cold Gray 1. I can go through and lighten that up if I think that I've made it too dark. And remember, the base color was Cold Gray 3. So there you go. I'll do the top part now. Since I don't really have much luck with a white gel pen, I'm actually going to come in with a silver one, and I'm just going to highlight some of his hat, and we didn't gonna color in the knitting needle. Okay, we're going to add some glitter to this area and his hat brim. Let's see if we can actually use up his stickles this episode, this video. one more of tabletop question while we're doing the stickles. Is it more charitable to spend your money or time? And I think that either are fine. I think if you don't have the time to give to a charity, but you can spare some cash, then that's awesome. If you don't have any cash to spare, but you have time on your hands that you could volunteer, then I love that too. So I think both are equally valuable, and if we don't have volunteers, a lot of charities wouldn't be able to survive. So I think that both are very important, and whatever you can manage in your own household budget is awesome. If you've got it in you to be charitable, then however you make it happen is wonderful. Okay, let's do glossy accents on his eye, because we haven't done that for a couple of days, and then I'll zoom you out for one final look. Okay, here's our final look at the picture. I added a bit of silver to a few extra spots, and I think it's turned out nice. I do like the yarn and the knitting needles. Simple background, but I think it kind of goes with the whole page. And just want to say thank you again for coming along for day 16 with me. A quick peek at day 17 is, it looks like he is baking. We are now into, I have no completed pages for the rest of the book, so we will be going strictly in order for the remainder of the book. So I hope to see you back here tomorrow. I hope you're able to color along or relax during these daily videos, and until tomorrow, take care. Bye bye.